Hey, everybody, welcome back to another episode. It is time to market like a nerd. And today we're going to talk about what copywriting old versus new and which one is best. And that's coming up next. Yeah, we got Manuel, we got to get the maracas. What's up, Manuel? Welcome to Monday Morning Live with Being Nerds in the marketing space. Man, how are you?
Hey man, I love Mondays, so I'm super happy.
Dude,
Dude, starting the week, it's like you got the 5 days ahead of you to get everything done.
yes.
So it gets
Yes.
me
And you,
really excited, really pumped up.
I love it, man. I love your attitude because the old is gone. Last week, done, finished. We can't do nothing about it. This is a brand new week, another opportunity, another chance. And you know what, Manuel? I didn't tell you this. So I'm going to try to stump you today with some copy that I found to see if you can tell who wrote it.
Damn it, man.
Ooh. I know I'm gonna put you in the spot. That's so cool. But listen, it's actually I thought about this since our last conversation, right? We got into the email copy and it was email good or not to use. And obviously it's still good if you know copywriting. And you had so many good tips about that. So if you guys have not watched this, if you're watching this live or you're watching the recording, thank you so much. And if you want to watch some of the episodes, just go to our Facebook page, Market Like a Nerd. You'll find us there. You can follow us there. But it was, I thought about it. I'm like, man, we need to show something. So today, what I did, Manuel, was in a moment, I'm going to show you what I found online and we're going to talk about it. And I want to hear your point of view on this copy. And hopefully you'll get to guess whose it is. All right. But
Oh my
it's all
god.
about copywriting today, man. So let's start with the first question because like Jody says this all the time, right? She says that marketing always works. Okay. So I'm going to ask you right now, does copywriting the old way versus what we see today, what's the difference in, does it work? Does the old one work today or not? Like what is your view on that?
Okay, so the first thing I think we have to sit down and define
Hmm.
is what do we mean by old? What do we
Okay.
mean by new? Okay, so
Okay.
we can be like really simplistic and say old is what we saw in the 80s, in the 90s, the 80s, and before or before that, and
Hmm.
the new is what we're seeing currently, right?
Sure. Yeah.
um it will be too simplistic to say that one works better than the other
Hmm.
just out of the bat, but let's get uh granular with stuff, right? So
Sure.
there's
Sure.
old media and there's new media, right? So old
Okay.
media is to say what was direct response TV and the infomercial style, which still exists,
Yeah, I
that was
remember that.
going on. I don't know if you know about it, but like I think in the 30s or something, that used to work. Then it got banned in the US, so you couldn't buy 30 minutes of air in TV. The max you could buy up was 2 minutes. Then
Really?
Reagan deregulated that, and then it was legal again to buy infomercials. Like it was illegal. Like you could not
Wow.
do it, right?
Wow.
It's the
I didn't know
equivalent of
that.
someone saying you can't buy a full page newspaper ad, just like a half page or a quarter page or something.
Wow.
So
Okay.
there's TV, there's newspapers, right?
Newspaper. Yep.
Magazines, direct mail,
Yep.
and radio.
Yep.
So there's basically
Yep.
those, right?
Yep.
Right now, we still have those, and they still work because those mediums uh, with the exception of direct mail, like like magazine, TV, radio, that
Hmm.
depends
Hmm.
on people advertising there. Like
Right.
if
Right.
advertisers were to stop, those couldn't exist. So they still work. They still exist, and we have the
Yeah.
internet, right? And
Right.
we have Facebook, we have social media, we have Google, and we have different like spots where to advertise, and
Hmm.
stuff, right?
Right.
So the first main difference between the new and the old, especially when you're using new media,
Hmm.
is that when you use new media like email, Facebook ads, landing pages, and this
Hmm.
newer style funnels, is that the barrier to entry is lower. So you don't have to be as good today as you had to be in the 80s to make things work, right?
Hmm.
So I'm in a mastermind with someone named Brian Kurtz. Brian Kurtz is the one, he has the rights to sell breakthrough advertising, the book we talked about last time. He worked with a company named Boardroom, and they used to he mailed out something like 15 million pieces of direct mail. And he
Wow.
one of the points he makes a lot of the time is that you have to be very thorough when you put up a campaign, because otherwise you would be $1 million in the hole and have no results, right? And
Right.
today you can test with being really conservative $1,000 and see if what you're doing is actually going to work or not.
Yeah.
So if you're risking $1 million, you have to be more careful, right?
Yeah.
You gotta
Yeah.
go deeper into research. You gotta be tighter. You can't take as many risks, although risks were taken back in there, but you couldn't be as lax or as chill as many times people are
Yeah.
currently.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
to give you a very clear example, I have a puppy. I have a German Shepherd. He's been with us since
I
January,
know. He's so cute.
and one of my main frustrations is that dude is he pees outside, but he's still peeing in the house, right? So I actually googled how to stop my German Shepherd from peeing in my house, right? So there's a hint there, like there's intent. So I saw an ad. I actually registered for in the landing page, and the email follow-up that has come after that. So here's the thing about me, I'm really busy, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So like I have the market like on earth stuff going on, I have
Yep.
two
Yep.
kids, I have a
Yep.
wife, I have two
Yep.
dogs, I
Yep.
work out, and I like to study. So like time is very limited, and the emails are interesting. Like the most they did was take advantage of the fact that with technology they can ask for the dog's name and the dog's race. So they do mention the dog name and the race, but it's used kind of so poorly. The emails don't really catch my attention. So I'm like, okay,
Mm.
I'll get around to it later. And
Mm.
what they would actually have to do is like try and be strong enough with how they're writing to me that they pull me away from everything else that I'm doing, and I go with what they want me to read, right, in order to
Right.
get me to buy.
Right. Right.
So what copywriters had to do in the old days is that the risk was too high, so they had to put a lot of
Ah,
thought into it, which is not something that happens a lot today.
that's so
Today things
good.
are very
Yeah.
lax, right? One
Yeah.
of the reasons, so one of the copywriters that I follow that are kind of like on the new sphere, his name is Stefan Georgi, and the guy gets paid $50,000 to write a sales letter. You better be sure the company that's paying that, and it's just for the sales letter. I mean, the traffic is being paid on the side, the page
Right.
building, like all of that. He's only delivering a
He's
Word
only the
document,
right.
and they're not taking big risks with anything, you know.
Mm.
But the people that I got that are registered in the opt-in page with the puppy stuff,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, they are. So the fact that the barrier to entry has lowered has allowed people who aren't as prepared and who aren't risking that much to
Mm.
to be sloppier.
Oh
So
wow.
it's one of the new things that
Mm.
has changed, and I personally don't like it. So people don't take that, like people take 30 minutes to write an email and just write whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
a copywriter gets a new client, and 8 emails, so 30 minutes per email. They get it out in 4 hours, but they don't take the time to actually know who's going to be getting the email, what the offer is, how the business owner thinks, how he speaks,
Wow.
and that makes a big difference. right?
Man, yeah, Manuel, that's yeah, I will tell you, I did not think of that. However, you are so right because I see that happening in commercials on TV. There's the ones that catch my attention, um, is the ones that I can see that they thought it through because they're so limited. They're so limited, and then the other ones are like, what are they doing? Like they're just dumping a bunch of stuff to see what catches. But you said it, and I didn't even think about this, but you have said it, and I think you've hit the nail right on the head that people are they don't have that motivation, they don't have that push, they don't have that deadline, or like you said, they don't have anything big to lose, so they don't work at it as much. It's like you can just name yourself a copywriter because you took one program and start writing, where it takes time. And back in the days, you know what? You just said back in the days, they used to write. You're right. They used to take a lot of time to write. So I'm going to show you what I have actually. Since you said that, I'm going to show you what I have. And let me see if this works because obviously this is a new software for us that we're doing this. So I'm going to see, can I share
Your screen.
my screen? Let's see, select. Okay. Let me take a look here. Entire screen. Okay. And all right. Can you see? Oh, shoot. It doesn't do it. Okay. Oh, you are so lucky, dude. The
Well,
browser can access my screen. Try capturing a different screen to see if this continues. Okay.
if
I'm
you
going to
want
do
to
that
send
one
it to
more
me through
time.
Slack and I can open it here, we can try
Okay,
to play.
yes, let's do that. Let's do that. And I'm gonna open our channel and let me dump it in there. But anyway, so talking about this, right? So people in this sphere of advertising and copywriting, we, as a matter of fact, even us, right? We're here showing up to share with you what can work for you, what you should be doing. And it always comes down to your copy, your message, understanding your audience, right? Um, it takes work if you really are going to want the results that you
Yeah.
want, right? So it's not something. Don't get caught up on what Manuel you just said. Lay back, like just basically say, okay, yeah, I'll just hire somebody, and they said they were good, and sure enough, we'll just put it out there, see if it works. But man, if you master your craft, like you, Manuel, I know that you study a lot. I know that you're all into the copywriting. As a matter of fact, that's why you are where you are right now, because dude, you dived into that, you live it. And so yeah, it takes that much of mastery to try to see that results from copywriting. But man, hey, did you get it? I just sent it. Did you get it?
Um, did you send it directly or where
To
did you
Slack.
put it in the channel?
Yeah, to our Slack channel. I'm gonna try again
Well, tag me.
to
Just tag me because I lost the thing.
oh, okay. We'll go back to that channel to
Facebook
the
Lives. Okay, Facebook
yeah.
Lives. Yeah.
Let me see if I can
Uh,
actually just do
Eddie, if
this.
you're over 30, oh my God, Eddie. Well,
You saw it, right? You saw it. Dude, look and see if you can share it, because I think you could. Do you have access to the bottom part like I do where
yeah,
you can share
share
things?
screen. Worst person, a good computer. Yep. Okay.
Okay,
Ooh,
there you
technology
are.
loves
There you
you.
are. There you are. I love it.
Okay,
Here we
so it
go.
says, from the medical maverick who has poured new vitality into the hundreds. Oh my God. If you're over 30, this is the best exercise you can do for your face, your body, and your heart.
So let me read this for those of you who are listening to our podcast. Okay, so basically what I've done is I've now presented Manuel with this amazing copy back in the probably 40s or 50s, maybe, and someone very famous, legend, he's a legend, has written it, right? So this is what it says, and I want you guys to listen to the what Manuel is saying, how much time and effort and energy they put back in those days. Okay, listen to this. So at the top, you've got the intro from the medical maverick. Okay, that alone, can you medical maverick, man? Okay, anyway, who has poured new vitality into thousands of needlessly run down patients. If now let's go with the headline. If you're over 30, this is the best exercise you can do for your face, your body, and your heart. Okay, for those of you who are in the fitness field, wellness, all right, listen to that. I'm gonna read it one more time. Listen to what just happened. Okay, talking about Manuel said that he's getting these emails, and because the emails are not well thought, his attention span has been so little that he just like basically doesn't care what comes in. But listen to again. I'm gonna say it again. I'm gonna read it again. From the medical maverick who has poured new vitality into thousands of needlessly run down patients. If you're over 30, this is the best exercise you can do for your face, your body, and your heart. That right there alone, Manuel, like how do you feel so far? Just listening to that. How do you feel so far?
Man, I mean, I think I know who wrote it, but damn, that guy was a genius because I mean, the
Right?
picture, the first paragraph,
The
how they grab it.
right? It's like, are you kidding me? And one of the things that I see a lot is that, especially with this Facebook stuff, that they get shut down because they wrote something and it's not in their policy. You got to be kidding me. This is like, I want to read more, don't you?
Yeah,
Like, I want to know what the heck is this best exercise that can do that. And plus, the person who wrote this, right? He has positioned himself as an expert without saying he's the expert. And plus, he has mentioned the medical word without, he's not going to get in trouble because the way he positioned it is that he seems to me, he seems to be a doctor, but I don't know. He's a medical maverick. Dude, that's
yeah.
like so cool, right? So what do you think? So you say you have an idea. What do you think is this from? Who do you think it is?
I would say either Eugene Schwartz.
Holy smokes, that's awesome, dude.
Really?
Yes. Wow. Look, check it out. I even had it to kind of rub it on you if you didn't guess it. Oh my goodness, dude.
Oh, there's the book. Because I'm displaying the image. I can't see you actually. So
Okay, go ahead. Oh, here, let me show you again. There's that book.
oh
I had it ready just in case you were like, I don't know which one. Dude, that's awesome. That's awesome. Good job. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
that's Eugene Schwartz. And so again, right? We're coming back to that question. Okay. The old versus new. I think you really covered it all, but if I can hear what you're saying, okay, I think you answered the question by saying the old worked because there was so much energy and effort into creating it that if someone can do the same today, it'll work.
yeah. The small caveat to that, so like the asterisk on the top of what you just said,
Mhm.
is that the old worked because of its principle,
The
right?
principle, right?
So, like recently, one of the greatest copywriters that have ever existed, which is John Carlton, who fortunately we still have him with us. He was talking about, there are people like, for example, in the inner marketing space that became ultra millionaires in the early 2000s, right?
Mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm.
then things stopped working for them, and they somehow didn't spend their money, because there are a lot of who did spend it all, and
Yep.
now
Yep.
they still have cash, but they're not going to be able to replicate the results because the environment for them changed, and then it took it down with them. But
Mm.
John Carlton, for example, is one of the guys who, no matter where he has had to face stuff, he's been able to succeed, because he doesn't succeed on the specific application. He succeeds on the principle of what he has to do, right? So like
Yeah.
today we have to look at Facebook, and we have to look at their compliance, the guys of at financial. Anyone who's at financial is familiar with how the FTC is running down on a
Yep.
lot of companies
Oh
who
yeah.
are do they're doing a lot of over the top claims,
Mm-hmm.
and
Oh yeah.
some of the excuses are, along with the fact that, if you follow it to a T, you may get the results. So, they go with that. And
Mm-hmm.
you have to adapt to the environment you're in, right? Because here's what many people don't understand. So many copywriters think that they're gonna get along with things just by being able to write the words, and you have to understand where you're moving. So, like, I've studied like Facebook advertising, right? I'm not up to date on the latest iOS 14 stuff. Although I did go through a webinar of it last week, but I did it like on the background, so I didn't catch everything. But
Mm-hmm.
I do know
Mm-hmm.
like the general gist of stuff. Like, you have to have server to server tracking instead of cookies,
Yep.
how that works, because that's the medium I'm writing for, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, one of the first things that I learned was to do direct mail, and it's like one of my personal dreams to roll out a direct mail campaign and make it work. But if you don't understand, like, I know how to create a website, and I know how to analyze and make sure that that the website where my copy is being put in is actually going to work the way I intended it.
Right.
Because if I just hand out a Google Doc, and then a designer that has no idea of direct response comes and screws it up, well,
Yep.
it's my copy that's the one that's not going to be able to convert, right?
Right.
So you have to know where you're putting your eggs in. You can't
Yeah.
just be like words you throw out. It's just like emails. One of the first things I did when we started saying in the weekly emails, when we started doing the tests, was
Mm-hmm.
I made sure the size of the font was, like 16 px, and I have perfect eyes. Like, if you give me like a point 0.8 newspaper and you put it like arm's
You
distance, I
can
can
read
read it
it.
easily. But not
Mm-hmm.
everyone can. Like, you have glasses, dude. I don't know why, but I don't exact specifically what you need them for.
Right.
But like, what if someone who's 55 years old, what if my dad's reading it? Is he gonna be able
Mm.
to understand it? Right? So I
Mm.
gotta know, if I'm not aware of that, then I'm not going to be able to be successful, even if my copy is good. So I have to be able to know where I'm moving. And so the good copywriters, even though they were good on the old stuff, like, I'm pretty sure if Eugene Schwartz was with us right now, he'd be crushing on Facebook like no one's business.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
you know, even
Yes, he
if his
would.
ads from the 60s wouldn't be
Yes.
compliant right now and would get shut down, he'll just
Yes.
find another way.
Yes.
Because it's the
Yes.
principle he's living on, not on the application, right?
Mm. Ooh.
So
Preach, man. That's good right there. His principles is not based on the application. And I love it. That is, oh, dude, man. That's, listen. All right. For everyone who's watching, listening, and again, thanks again for being here and watching the recording or listening to the podcast. Either way, um, I've got to tell you all guys that, or gals, ladies and gentlemen, how about that? That marketing, yes, marketing always works, but it takes work to make it work.
Oh
Don't
yeah.
underestimate the power of writing, of your copy, of understanding your message that is clear enough so that you can attract your audience, the right person, right? Even that person who is wearing glasses because you know that they need eye surgery, right? Like, you've got to know your audience, and it takes work. And by the way, so for those of you who are showing up, and there's Jason. Did you see that? Dude, he said so smart. Love the attention to detail regarding medium and how that affects the wording and the delivery of course, of course. Thanks, Jason. Yeah,
Thanks,
yeah,
Jason.
it's amazing, right? So for those of you who just, maybe you're in a period of in your business where you want to scale, and you're not quite sure what's happening or how to do it, or even have a second pair of eyes from experts like Manuel, for example, to take a look at what you're actually doing, then I will suggest you get on a call with us. Get on a call with me. All right. Book a call. Just go to marketlikeanerd.com/book a call, just like that. And let's take a look at it. Let's see how you can make it better, how you can improve it, or just get some answers like what was up with it. Why is it not working? And the good news is this, and Manuel, correct me if I'm wrong, but if they put that effort and time into creating this copy, this message, you can take that and use it, parts of it, I'm assuming, on Facebook, right? Like you can take the same type of message and use it for Facebook ads and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if you ever do anything long form, say like a sales page or webinar,
Mm-hmm.
what many people do who are just starting out is thinking that everything else that goes along with it has to be original and different, but
Mm-hmm.
that's not necessarily the case, right? I
Mm-hmm.
mean, if you have a webinar called, how to grow your business in 3 easy steps, you can do Facebook ads that are, hey, I want to show you one of the steps, and
Yeah.
this is like a summary of it. And if you want to know more, and you go through webinar, and you can take the
Yeah.
same content of the webinar, put it in there, and just like a teaser, it's like
You're right.
it's like an ad for a sales page or a webinar or whatever is the equivalent of a teaser for a movie. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
the teaser or the trailers don't have to put out new stuff. They just
Yep.
take a bit of what there is, give it enough so that people want to get it. You grab it.
Nice.
It's called. I
Good
mean, that's
point.
called the where I learned it from is called splintering, and I learned it from Ryan Dice and the guy's digital marketer,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and it's one of the most valuable lessons I learned from them.
Yeah.
So
That
yeah, I
is
mean,
so
you can do
good.
that. You don't have to be original all the time. I mean, you can
Yeah.
create once and then just take from there and keep
Take from
going. I
there.
mean,
Right. Right. That's awesome, dude. What, man? Like I said, man, every time we talk about this, time just flies, dude. I am shocked, but I'm not surprised. But I am shocked that it was your first guess with Eugene, that copy. That's awesome. Who was your second one? Because you were kind of gonna go with the another one. Who was
I
it?
was thinking Ogilvy. I was thinking
Oh
Ogilvy, but
yeah.
Ogilvy sounds
Yeah.
a bit different.
Yes, yes,
Uh,
yes.
the thing I don't like
Yeah.
about these kinds of quizzes is that sometimes I think I'm in the know, and then someone comes up with a really weird thing, and I'm like, oh shit.
But that's what I wanted to try to stump you, man, because I know you were gonna think Ovi or Eugene. I wasn't sure who you're gonna go first, but that's a good one. Good job, dude. Awesome. Well, thank you everybody for joining us again. We will be back Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 a.m. Pacific. Until further notice, we'll be here Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, and always just being nerds and the marketing space. If you have questions about the topics, feel free to leave comments. Follow us on Facebook, and now, Manuel, we're on YouTube also, dude.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's
Yeah, yeah.
amazing.
So like us on YouTube, give us a thumbs up and we'll be all good to go. Until Wednesday, Manuel, thank you so much for your time, dude. I appreciate it. Have an outstanding day today, everybody.
Hey, it's
Peace.
always a pleasure, Eddie. Bye,
Hey,
Eddie.
dude, awesome. Later.